Hello, and welcome back to the Coop Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Tommy Lazaridis to review Chelsea versus Aston Villa from the weekend. Yes, Villa storm into the top half of the table with a 2-0 win, a huge victory. We're on the up, and Europe's not that far away, so make sure you clear your Thursday nights because next season we might be busy. And all of that is coming up after this. Okay, so after the international break, we were back. We would travel down to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea. Both teams were, 10th and 11th going in. And Tommy, what a win. Unbelievable. We've put a nail in Graham Potter's coffin, and he's gone. And now we are within touching distance of Europe. What a huge victory for Unai Emery and Villa.
Yeah, Emery's taking souls at the moment, isn't he?
Oh.
Potter wheels. Maybe just too big of a jump for him. And the club's a shambles, honestly. I'm not going to lie. 600 million, they've done piss all with it. And I feel like Emery had a relatively stringent budget when he came in, and look at how he's turned the club around. I did see a rumor, I think Cliff put in the group chat about Chelsea potentially looking at Emery to swap with Potter, but makes no sense because now I guess Potter's on the dole. So that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
I think Emery's probably going to be the one up for a contract renewal before all the players, if anything, to be honest.
That's
but
it.
yeah, I mean, what a win, right? I mean, I think we predicted it was a 1-0 or 2-0. Actually, I think it was 1-0. I glimpsed over the video earlier in the week.
I predicted 0-0, but
I'll just say anything nil in favour of Villa. Just and Emmy obviously gets the record right, so history in the making, and maybe that's something he wants to build on. Speaking of building on, I mean, everyone's probably seen the post game thing. Emery straight on the team bus on the laptop. I think Neil Mould in the Villa chat put what's actually happening behind the screen, and it was a game of solitaire.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, like, it's so good to see. Like, just the way we dug in. I mean, like, a lot of people have been saying that obviously didn't really watch the game. Oh, Chelsea battered them. They had 27 shots, all this. Yeah, but no, there was they had maybe two good chances, the two Mudryk chances. The one where Emmy gave the ball away trying to pass it out from the back. And then there was the one where he was through 1-on-1 and he had a bit of a weak shot. But apart from that, I mean, McGinn hit the bar. Yeah. Ollie had another great chance before he did score that he should have put away. And we were the team that were looking more dangerous and, defended amazingly. I thought Mings and Konsa were absolutely out of this world, 10 out of 10 performances. But that went for pretty much everyone on the field. I think apart from maybe Kamara and Buendia, like, everyone else was a 9 or a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yep, and it just goes to show, right? Like, Emery's inherited the Gerrard squad, and look what he's done with them. I mean, when we say knocking on Europe, we're 2 points off top 6, right? Unreal, and we're now pushing for the top 6, and Chelsea are pushing for the top half of the table. Who would have thought, right? So it's a little cheeky this stuff, but no, incredible performance, and it's funny, right? Having Carlos on the bench, look at the performances Mings and Con sort of putting in each week because. One mistake, you're out. He's waiting to go. Like, we shelled a ton of money out for him. And, he's probably lacking match fitness, but as he trains week by week, he's raring to go. So I would like to see Carlos coming, but at the same time, it's working and we're keeping clean sheets. No need to fix it. Solid performance all round. I thought everyone looked pretty good. McGinn, 2-0 against Spain with Scotland, 2-0 against Chelsea. I mean, he's just re-energized, and this is Championship McGinney and pinging these long balls, Ramsey assist, just the whole team. Watkins got his shooting boots on, let's go back to Gerrard. I don't like backtracking and going back to the past, but he, that probably wouldn't be in if that was under Gerrard. Probably blank it, and now it's just chipping keepers and putting him in. He had another good chance, right, earlier in the game. It's going to be interesting.
And we now know that if you give Ollie 2 chances, he's going to score at least one, and
let him feed.
Top strikers are like that. They miss chances. Even the best miss chances occasionally. But as long as he's not letting his head go down and taking the next one, then that's all you can ask. And I think his form over the last few months has been like up there with the best strikers in the league. And that I saw a stat that apart from Mo Salah and Harry Kane, he's got the most goals in the last 3 seasons in the Premier League. So
Huh?
yeah, so he's right up there in terms of yeah.
Well, he's under the radar, and true, probably not getting the spotlight he deserves because the team's performing crap. I mean, like I said, you could score every week, and if you're conceding 2, 3 a game, losing, and we're scoring a lot at one point, but we're conceding a lot, so he's not getting the spotlight he deserves. Now we're winning 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, and he's pinging 1 or 2 in. So I'm so happy. As a neutral fan, right? He watched it, saw the other, goes, "Oh, who's this forward? He's insane. Like we had Villa get him. Oh, he's actually been at Villa for a couple seasons." And honestly, like I said, full credit to Ollie for acknowledging and maybe listening to the podcast through a burner alias. We always credit his work rate, and he lacked that clinical presence. And goes and invests in himself. Putting his money where it should be, not on bloody designer bags and all these goods. And he's invested in himself, and now he's just finishing. Like you see, he's got like a 50% strike rate. I know he's scoring 1 in every 1 or 2 games, and I'm not being, I'm being modest, touch wood, but we've got some pretty good fixtures coming up that I think are highly winnable. We're always optimistically saying, "Oh, next 5, what are we going to get? Oh, 12 points, 13 points, and lucky if we get like 7." Now we've got 5 games, like we can push for all 5. I'm pretty confident, and I think there's been some stats going around since Emery took over. Only Man City and Arsenal have scored more, and I think we actually have the second most clean sheets since him taking over. And it's just so exciting. I mean, it's been a roller coaster of a club, and I was talking to a few mates recently, like, "Why Villa?" And I said, "Fucking, I have a thing for headaches and trauma." So Villa, it was 15 years ago, and we've created this bond. We've done the podcast to keep ourselves going through COVID, and we've just kept it going, try and commit to it every week, and like a family. And we've been through so much crap together. I remember getting up to watch Villa lose to freaking Wigan at 3 a.m. And now here we are pushing back to where we deserve to be. Let's also just quickly pivot to the women's, who are doing fantastic. The whole club is. The youth would be raring to come back, right? They probably go out, players like Archer and the likes of them. I might just settle for the championship, or I'll sign elsewhere. I think everyone's going to want to fight for a Villa spot now. Plus, type of talent we're going to attract. I think it's just so exciting.
So definitely.
Europe, I don't want it to be one of those where, "Oh yeah, we could have done better. Let's just appreciate why it's like we're 2 points off 6. We can do it, right?" Like.
And Tommy seems to have dropped out. Oh, he's back. Tommy, you there?
Is it the audio? Or? I don't know.
No, you just froze for a sec there. You're good, but like you were saying, the women are doing great. The men's team is now doing great. We've been through a lot of crap before as Villa fans, and it's now got to a stage where everyone seems really calm, and it's all the other clubs that are falling around us. Like everyone else is in crisis, like Liverpool or Chelsea or whoever you like. But we just seem like we've got a plan. We're comfortable. We're growing slowly. We're not getting too far ahead of ourselves, and we're sort of going under the radar a bit. Like not many pundits and this are sort of mentioning us as a great team or anything yet, but we're getting the jobs done. And like you said, our away form is crazy. We lost to City, we drew with West Ham, and we've won every other game, including Brighton, Everton, Chelsea. There were some big wins away from home, and we weren't doing that for a long time, not under Gerrard, that's for sure. And we're in such a good spot now. And like you said, we really need to sort of take this opportunity now and go forward and try and get as many points as we can and get one of those European spots, because it's going to be tough, but I think we can do it.
Well, like I've seen some fixtures, right? Like Man City play Liverpool, and if one of them win or lose, well, that's beneficial to us. And ideally, I'd rather City and Arsenal just run away with it. And like I said, they're probably going to do us some favours now. If they're playing anyone out of the top 2, it's really going to help us, or the top 6, right? Whatever. So I'm really excited. I don't want it to be one of those where, we let it get away, or it's one of those seasons. I forget which one. We'll just content with, finishing in the top 8. It's like, hey, we put the foot down a bit. And that's what I like about Emery. He goes, no, we keep going, right? Like, why not? That's probably he's got to be manager of the year, right? Like, from where he came in, the squad he inherited, if we finish top 6, that's manager of the year for me, even if it's not a full season. Like, he's turned the club around. And then the building
Well, he's definitely, from the time he signed, he's up there. I mean, we're up there in the top 3 or 4 teams. And we've got a squad now that has improved so much, considering the performance we were putting in at the start of the season, and the sort of dip guys like McGinn and Ramsey and Mings and Konza, and these kind of guys weren't playing well at all. And now
I think it's
unbelievable. Yeah, now it's unbelievable. I mean, it's really such a turnaround, and we saw it in this game, just his coaching ability. We went back to the 6 at the back for a while, which I liked. When after half time, when Chelsea were getting a lot of the ball and they were coming at us, and he just went, all right, let's just sit for 10 minutes, get the 6 back there, the 6-2-2. And just give them nothing. Like, so Chilwell and all the wing backs can't overlap and can't, we block off all the passing lanes. And then we got the McGinn goal on the break, bang, 2-0, job done. It's smart coaching. It's using what you've got, and sticking to a plan, and just seeing the opposition and predicting what they're going to do next, and then putting your plan in their way to stop them. And it's a front foot sort of. It's not reactionary. It's action ahead of reaction, and I love that sort of stuff. And I'm just really happy, and I wouldn't want any other manager in the league at this point.
No. And I think you look at all the post game interview conferences, match reviews, and he always thanks the fans, and I think that's really important. Everyone goes, this guy is the fans' favorite now. It's always so cool, and talks about camaraderie and team spirit. And then again, after that interview, boom, back on the bus, back to the drawing board next game, and I love that. Like, I'd love to know how much sleep he actually gets. This guy's just a football junkie, and if we qualify for Europe, like I said, even Europa League, there's no one better to have than Emery at the helm. That guy's got to prove the record. That's why we brought him in. And I wonder now if we kind of look back at the January transfer window. I wonder if he assessed the squad and said, no, what, I can do something with this. He goes, let me work with this. And maybe he said to Sawiris needed, hey, if I can get us top 6, I need you to shell out 200 million, whatever. I want to bank that. Then if I can guarantee that, he probably got some sort of. I'd love to know the bonus he has in his contract if he qualifies for a European spot, right?
Yeah.
I reckon he surely does. That's why he was brought in, of that kind of pedigree, with his repertoire and what he's achieved. I reckon he's got some sort of bonus, and hey, it's a win for everyone. Pay him out.
They're gonna look after him for sure, and he deserves any kind of new contract he gets, because he's been unbelievable, and he's just he's turned this whole club around in such a short amount of time. And I mean, I saw like the Villa on tour video, and everyone's like, I'm pretty relaxed. I think we might get something today. I think we're going to win. I'm like, everyone's like just confident that we're going to come away with a good performance. And
listen, the optimistic, we called it. Who was it? You, I think, last week. 0-0. I would have walked away with Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's form or not, like. You look at the squad they've got and the money they've shelled out. It's a flick of a switch, and they can go and put 6 past the team at some point. But again, it's about cohesion and working together, and gelling and buying into what the manager's philosophies. And I just really wonder the dysfunction now with Gerrard. I mean, I just keep looking back, and you look at Emery and what just everyone's bought in. Ollie's found these finishing boots. Mings and Konsa, like Maldini and Nesta all of a sudden, and. What the hell? Like, Conser was a champ. They were championship signed centre backs, and look what they're doing. And I think that's really important. You keep the core foundation and you build from there. And it's not, we need to replace them. Why can't they grow, right? Like Mings and Conser's still young. I think the ceiling's the limit for him. And at one point he was knocking on the England door, right? So just it's so exciting, Scott. Like I said, we've been through hell, and I remember when we were in Brisbane together, right? It's just we're doing all right. And then now with Emery, it's like God, like I literally can't wait for the next Villa gathering or tour.
Yeah, 100%. And
Oh,
like you said before, I mean, I don't think we need any like huge signings. We just need to sort of fill the squad. And guys like Duran and Moreno, the guys that he did buy in January, I think they were perfect signings. Young guys who, might not everyone knows, but he knows them and he knows what he's going to get. And they've, really, I don't think we need anything more up front than Ollie, Archer and Duran next season. I think if we went in with that would be pretty good. I would be fairly happy with that.
Red hot, and again, Villa boy, we're rooting for him in the background. I have seen links to Tammy Abraham, quite a few, probably more than I'd like to, and I do wonder if maybe that could be on the cards. But again, that's a relationship from a long time ago. So it's not like the owners have any sort of faith with him, or it wasn't a Dino signing, or was it? I think it was Dino, if I'm correct. Yeah, Championship Dino.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like that's just an old love. I think let that be, and if Roma are looking to piss him off, well, maybe that's not a good thing as well, right? If you're a good forward, like you look at Victor Osimhen, like I love Napoli in the probably second favorite team, you wouldn't be wanting to sell your prized possession. So I don't know. Maybe Abraham's a bit of a dressing room. He's got some dressing room issues. Who knows? But I completely agree. Like Ollie's a completely new forward. If you said, hey, we've got a forward, he works hard, he's clinical, he's putting one in every 3 shots away, can score with his left foot, right foot, header. And then someone say, who am I? People guess, it could be this, and so it's actually Ollie Watkins. He's the third highest score in the Prem in 3 years. You wouldn't think it, but stats are there for hey, like you now start getting your goal to game ratio up. You're worth every dollar, and I wouldn't be surprised if a new contract's on the table for Ollie. I know he signed. I don't know when he last re-signed, but I know he re-signed a few of the other boys, McGinn. I think it was Mings, Emmy.
Yeah. And if we bring in a big striker like a Tammy Abraham or a Jonathan David or someone like that, they're going to expect to play. And what does that do what does that do to Ollie Watkins? What does that do to Duran? What does that do to Archer?
Like I said, squad's not always a good squad, Scotty. And I mean, you look at Chelsea, right? Like that squad almost looks completely different to start of the season, and that's maybe why, right? You just keep chopping and changing. Like it has to work. Well, no, you're not used to it. We haven't gelled. You don't know each player's styles. Yeah, like one thing, pins on a board and tactics at training, but to actually have that core. Yeah. If you keep pulling out the engine, the car's not going to run, Scott.
That's right. And it's just such a scattergun approach at Chelsea. Like, it's like they're just like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And whereas we've got we're bringing in young players, good players that can all grow together. And hopefully, in a couple of years' time, we can have a side that can, be comfortably in the top 6, and push on and on and on. And I think, that's why Emery's come to the club, because he was a big signing. I think we went out there, we got a pretty big name, a guy that's done it in multiple countries. He's won leagues, he's won cups, he managed some of the biggest teams in Europe, and he came to us, and he must have seen something, and our owners must have really sold the club well. And after the Gerrard appointment, it was a bit of a gamble because he was a young manager and it didn't work out. This was, I think, a very smart choice. Someone experienced, someone who knows the Premier League, someone that, knows European football and knows, what players are out there. And I just can't wait to see what he does in the summer, who he brings in. And I just want to see us, go on and on and on, because, like it's like every game now. Like we've got Leicester on Tuesday night, and Nottingham Forest on Saturday. That could be another 6 points.
Like I said, Leicester, I don't want to jinx it, right? New manager, but I'm like,
yeah,
we put 4-5 past them. We're raring right now. Goals are coming from anywhere and everywhere, and I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. I know they get new manager, but we're firing. Doesn't necessarily mean they're always going to win, but these are the teams I've said you want to always avoid at this time of the season. It's your Southamptons right now. It's your Leicester. Ham have got a bit of a point to prove. Now they've got to be the biggest disappointment this season, to be honest. Like, nothing against West Ham, great club, great fan base. They're trying to do what we're currently doing, and it's funny, right? We compared ourselves to them last season, and it's almost reciprocated. Oh, it's right.
It does show that sometimes playing on the Thursday night and playing on the Sunday, that can hurt a team. And that we've seen that with West Ham a bit, but I think we've got a bit more money than them, and we can maybe fill our squad a bit better than they can, and maybe we can handle that sort of European football a bit better than they can. But let's go back to the game a bit, and I want to talk about Jacob Ramsey a bit, because I thought he had a great game. I thought his running, his energy, his positivity is back. He's looking like a goal threat, and I just really love the way that he's come on, because he was one of the players that maybe it didn't click straight away under Emery. Took him a few weeks. Same with McGinn maybe, but those two guys have really sort of understood their roles now, and we're so kind of fluid in that midfield now, because we've got Ollie Watkins up front, but then we've got Buendia and Ramsey just behind him, and they can go into midfield. Boubacar Kamara can come out. Douglas Luiz can come forward. McGinn can come forward, and it's just it must be a real headache. Yeah,
they're all. That's right. Like they can all I've seen McGinn and I've seen Ramsey play DM, and don't forget Dougie and Kamara can play a good ball forward, and Buendia, little bulldog, don't get fooled by his size. He goes in. Don't worry. And he's sometimes he's not the fastest, but I see him puffing and real gassed. He's doing a full court sprint nearly. So no, and I love it, Scott. But it's weird, right? I know Emery. I think, like you said with Ramsey, he really struggled because Emery's all about zones, right? Don't go here. And Ramsey's like, well, I get the ball and I've had permission to go forward. And Emery's like, no, you're gonna do what you need to in this zone and let someone else do their part, right? You come and you stop here. You don't go all the way over. And that, in the past, it's left us exposed. Not Ramsey's fault. He's our goal threat, and if you have the front half, well, it's going to take you a bit longer to run back. So, but again, like you said, they're all interchanging, and they now know, well, if Ramsey's here, someone's got to cover his space. It's almost like all this zoning, and it's unreal. But I do think Emery's biggest the best thing about Emery is just ability to adapt in game. Like you said, we're going to go to a back six all of a sudden, and it's like, well, that works. All right, we're going to go to back four, and just in-game changes. You don't have to make a sub to make use of your squad. And yeah, like I said, Chelsea are not an easy team. When they can flick the switch, and yeah, they had some good shots. Arguably, they could have been up in the opening minutes. I love Emery with all my heart, but come on, man. It's like he's telling off Kamara. You can see who's behind him. Kamara can't. And we should learn from the Leicester game, right? Yeah. How easy for them to just pick a ball. And, of all players, Mudrik's probably not the one that I want to pick his pocket. So you've got quite fortunate. Again, like you said, Ramsey assists for the second goal. Just a real team player, and it's all just, hey, if they've got a better shot, it's like basketball. If they've got a better shot, give it to them. And McGinn just, left ping, could have arguably had two, like you said, that crossbar shot was close to not going in. And yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Just every game you think it's not a bubble, because it's like there's a lot scored into this. This is not dominance, but I don't know where it's going to stop, and that's the exciting part, Scott. It's not
this was one of those games as well that the stats sort of lie. That I saw Stevie Nicol on ESPN talking about. He said, if you just saw the stats of this game, you would think it was wave after wave of attack from Chelsea. They were so unlucky. They must have hit the post 3 or 4 times, and the keepers had a blinder. I mean, Emmy did play well and made some good saves, but I didn't think he was great. He didn't have any world class saves to make or anything like that. And it wasn't all one way. We were looking the more dangerous, and they had a lot of the ball, but shots from outside the box, snapshots and half chances here and there, but nothing really concrete. And yeah, we deserve to win 100%.
Yeah, and in terms of votes, Emmy probably wouldn't even sneak in for one. I'd probably say McGinn, give him 3, right? It's just a little ball of energy. And then it's well, does Ramsey, it's between Ramsey, Watkins, Mings, Conser, and probably even throw Dougie in there for 2 and 1 and just take your pick, right? And that's a good problem to have. If, you got 6 people, 3 votes, that's a good sign, right? And yeah, I don't know. It's just the sky's the limit right now. It's not a matter of a bubble. I think this is now that linear progression that we've been wanting, and it's you like Jared won a couple, and then can all go to shit. Or with one game, just I almost hope we lose the game and there's the learning, or bloody, this was one game closer to Gerrard getting the sack, right? But it's like we're not getting away with winning games now. We're actually like there's structure, it's cohesion, and there's genuine dominance throughout patches against big teams. Like Arsenal, we were hard done by as well, right? Like we're taking it to the big boys, and we're now able to.
Yeah, well, we've beaten Man United, we've beaten Spurs, and now we've beaten Chelsea. So yeah, I don't think we should really fear anyone. Like you said, we were unlucky against Arsenal. We could have got something out of that game. Man City was a bit more of a comfortable defeat, but that's Man City. They can do that to anyone. They beat Leipzig 7-0 the other week. So, they can do that. I don't think we should fear anyone. And let's wrap it up there and let's get into the predictions. So we got Leicester coming up. We'll be doing another show after that match. So please stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe, follow the video. But how do you think we'll go against Leicester away from home?
Look, I know they've got, it'll be new manager syndrome, but I think it'll be something like a 3-0. I think just the confidence is sky high right now. Ollie's found his scoring boots, and I don't know. If it's a home game, so Bailey loves to score at home, right? So that'll be an interesting one. So I think 3-0.
3-0?
3-0.
All right, I'll go 2-0. I'll say Ollie and Ramsey with the goals, and just continue to go forward and continue to pick up these points. I don't think Leicester are very good defensively. Yes, they've got Maddison and Barnes and guys like that can cause problems, and have caused Villa many problems in the past. But like you said, this is a different team. We're not fearing anyone. And I'm just looking forward to it. I think we will win. And good and well done to the women on the international break, beating Leicester 5-0. That was a good win. They lost the other night to Chelsea 3-0, but Chelsea are probably the best team in Europe right now, and definitely one of the best teams in the league. So that's no disgrace there. But they're at 5th and they're flying high and they're doing really well. So good luck to them in there for the rest of the season. They've got a FA Cup semi-final coming up against Chelsea as well. So that'll be really exciting. But yeah, thanks for all watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. We're on all of that. So please check us out over there. And we will be back on Wednesday after Leicester. So up the Villa, and we'll see you then.